What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grant. You're watching Sub Urban Nerd, this channel where I give my nerd views on today's nerd news, but I also give my reviews of movies that I watch. And today's movie I'm giving a review on is Ready Player One. Ready Player One is based on a best-selling book of the same name, Ready Player One. The movie was directed by Steven Spielberg, and I have to say, Steven Spielberg has got it back. He's gotten back to what made him known as the best director ever. The dude can make a movie that's so like these sci-fi movies. He's good at pretty much directing any movie, but these movies where he gets to just like break loose and feel free to just do whatever he wants, as far as like, yo, this was the perfect movie for him. And when I first heard that Steven Spielberg got this movie, even though I have not read the book, but I've heard a lot of things about it. Basically, it's a book that's based on pop culture, and the book is actually based on pop culture with movies that he's directed, but he took something different. He didn't just take movies that he directed. He put pop culture as far as like all these video games, all these animes, so many things. I'm just gonna get right to it as far as the main characters. The main character, Ty Sheridan, who's playing Percival. Very compelling main protagonist. You understand him, you feel for him, and you understand in this world that they've created where everyone just stays in an oasis. You see why, because the world is bland. It's very bland. It's something that's very reminiscent of this movie, and that's one thing I liked about this movie. This movie is a reflection of our world, basically what it could eventually be, because right now they're just getting into this, virtual reality. But a lot of people, they get away from their problems, their issues, by just getting into video games. That's their outlet. That's where they get away. And it's like all different kinds. Like I remember when I first hopped on, what was it, Xbox Live. And you're getting killed by these 12-year-olds, man. Why are they killing you? Why are they so good? I don't understand. But I'm telling you, that's the way it is. And you see it in this movie. Like, everybody gets to be whatever they want. They get away from anything. You see them surfing. You see them skydiving. You see them like boxing. You see this one kind of chunky girl, lady, whatever, dancing around a pole. She's getting to live her life as far as what she wants to do in the oasis. Now, going back to the main character, Ty Sheridan, the other cast member that plays very well off of him is Olivia Cooke. Olivia Cooke is playing Artemis. Artemis is pretty much the Trinity to Neo. She's the one that everybody knows. Oh, you've heard about Trinity? Well, you've heard about Artemis. Artemis is that chick that's so badass in the video game that just everybody knows her name. And Percival is sort of like that. He's not the people know of him because apparently he's the first one that kind of found a portal to the first game. And so Percival's sort of known, but he's not at that superstar status. He gets to that superstar status after the first race, which you see on the trailers of how he, they're racing all. He has a DeLorean. You see Knight Rider. You see the Bigfoot monster truck. You see all these things, all these nostalgic things. And that's one thing. Like I said, this movie has so many nostalgic, as far as video games, movies, all these vehicles, things that you would know. Like, I tell you right now, if you an 80s baby, you'll get this. If you a 90s baby, you'll get this. If you a 2000 baby, you'll still get this. If you're a 2010s babies, you shouldn't really be watching these things. Well, then again, you know what? Who am I to tell you not to watch? Watch whatever you want. In fact, subscribe as soon as you see this. But getting back to the movie, yeah, you've got Artemis, who's like the Trinity, and she kind of finds him, and she figures out that he knows what he's doing or whatever. So, he actually saves her at some point, and she has to kind of get her motorcycle, which her motorcycle's sick. Her motorcycle is that Akira motorcycle, you know what I'm saying? If you know anime, like I said, this is another one of those references. If you don't know anime, you won't understand what's the big deal about this motorcycle. But if you're into pop culture and anime, Akira is one of the best animes ever created. It still stands up today, even though it was made in the 1980s or whatever. So yeah, but then, like I said, you meet the other people. Like, you meet H, who's played by Helen Rafe. Yeah. And the main bad guy, the main antagonist, Sorrento, played by Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah. The dude plays villain good, you legit understood, and you felt it, and it felt real, like one of those corporate overlords. Like, they use this game not for playing, not for pleasure, but for profit. You know what I'm saying? They get their ads in this. They get, like, you know, they want to win this thing. They want to win this game and gain control of this. This is the equivalent of, like, say, if someone created online. You know what I'm saying? And they want to control online. That's basically what it is. So, and then that's why he's got the companies, I think it's IOI, where they pretty much just have a bunch of people just wear these suits and just go in there. And the main objective is for them to win and get the Easter egg that was left in the by the main guy who made this Oasis called Holiday, played by Mark Rylance. And Mark Rylance, I tell you right now, he played good as far as the geeky kind of awkward social kind of person, nerd, because he felt and he understood. And this movie has a lot of that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibe going on it. It has a lot of that mixed with a little bit of Sword Art Online, as far as like this world that everyone just lives in. That's what they do. But the difference with Sword Art Online, if you died in real world. But this one, it's sort of like kind of like serious that if you die in this game, you lose all your credits, all your money. I don't understand how. Like, you would figure you might, if you just go into the game, just put everything, because like, you know, you're not losing your whole avatar when you die. But they make the stakes very high, as far as if you get killed in this game, you may respawn, but you've lost everything that you have. So the objective is to not die, which when you're racing and playing these games, you better be starting with a new avatar that has nothing. Then that's my trick that I'd be doing, because if it's costing me everything, I'm just gonna go and then like kind of go with avatars that I don't know, and then go in with my fully stocked one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Wade, he lives in Iowa, and he stacks, what they call it. And apparently his mom and his dad died. He's living with his aunt, with a boyfriend that's very abusive, whatever. So you understand why he doesn't want to be where he wants to be. He wants to get away to the Oasis. And the whole action, like this movie, the main thing about this is you understood and you could feel for all the characters. Even the ones that, like, the relationship. The one thing I have to say, though, is with Wade falling in love with Artemis, or Samantha is her name, so easily, so quickly. At first, I wasn't, like, when I was watching the movie, I was like, really? Really? He said he's loved her? He's seen her a couple times? But then I started to understand that, you know what? When you're going online, and you don't have any interaction with any people, and, like, you just find that, and then this chick, and mind you, I tell you right now, Samantha's avatar was hot as hell. Like, I was looking at her, she sort of had, like, that sort of, remember the movie Avatar, those blue people, but not like that, but like she just, because she was more real, she was sexy. I ain't gonna front. She was an animated thing, but she was sexy as hell. I'm like, I could understand why he'd fall for that. I'd fall for that too. You know what I'm saying? But plus she was badass, and badass chicks always kind of sexy, you know. But yeah, the movie, going through the whole thing, you're following them, like you're seeing this relationship, this friendship growing, and Kirito, they remind me sort of like of Kirito and Asuna from Sword Art Online, how they're like the most badass people in the game, but yet they have this bond, and that's sort of the bond you have with Samantha and Wade. It's sort of earned. Like, you see, she makes him realize that this isn't just about a game. Her dad died working for IOI, and she's trying to take them down, so she has to get this egg. And he kind of understands too. Like, after she pushes him away, and he realizes, yo, like, you know what? I have been just taking this game. But then once his aunt died, that's when he took it serious. And she, that's just what happened. So as far as this, I loved this movie. I generally enjoyed every moment, and I actually, at the end, I actually started tearing up. Like, not crying, not full-blown crying, but I actually started tearing up because Steven Spielberg caught the emotion so well at the end of the game, where Wade is meeting Holiday and talking to him, and you understood why all this was happening. And it just, I have to say, this has to be one of my top 5 movies of this year. I know right now it's probably top 2, because Black Panther still has a main thing to me, so Black Panther right now is number 1. This is number 2. I don't know about Infinity War, but Ready Player One, I didn't expect to like it or love it as much as I did, but I did. And everybody has to watch it. If I had to give it a grade, and it's very hard for me to do this as far as movies in general, but I'm giving this a cold-blooded A. I'm giving it an A. I would give it an A+. I'm still trying to decide because the references, all these things, like, yo, the Iron Giant, you got Gundams, you got Battletoads, you got RoboCop, you got, you got the Halo, you've got the references was crazy. And all the way at the end, where they all came together, and, the speech that Wade gives to get the world rallying behind him, I was trying to look for a VR set for me to stick on my head so I could go join and help him out. Because this dude has charisma. Wade, or what's his name? Ty Sheridan. I'm hoping he does something else because he did such a great job in this movie. I can't wait to see what else things he do. Olivia Cooke was definitely good, but and I did not expect to see Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg's in this. The whole time I'm like, I know that face, but yep, it was Simon Pegg. But like I said, I'm not gonna go down the roster of people except for T.J. Miller. T.J. Miller, I tell you right now, you gotta watch out for him. He played T.J. Miller. What was his character's name? T.J. Miller. Oh, I-Rock. I-Rock was one of the highlights. Even though he was a bad guy, he was one of the highlights. T.J. Miller brought this character to life. You definitely enjoyed it. Whenever he spoke, it was just hilarious. So that's pretty much my grade for that thing, an A. So check it out. Watch the movie. Tell me. Comment down below because I want to talk to people that watch this movie because I loved it as well. So remember to subscribe. Check out my last review of any movie that I've watched. And check out the playlist of all the movies that I reviewed. So remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've been watching Sub Urban Nerd. And you just been Nerdify. Catch you guys in Oasis.